Before we
Yeah.
jump in there, maybe I'll also give a little introduction to people who
Yeah,
do not know
perfect.
me. So my name is Dhruv Agarwal. I am co-founder and CEO of a company called Middleware. We are a software engineering productivity intelligence company. We help engineering teams reduce their time to market by helping them remove the bottlenecks in their processes. We leverage signal frameworks like DORA, being one of our favorite frameworks, and some other frameworks that we'll also talk towards the end of this session to help companies recognize and reduce the bottlenecks in their journey from ideation to product delivery. Before this, I was a senior engineering manager at a company called Merce, was based out of Copenhagen, and before that, many more startups. And yeah, so in my journey, I realized that when I was a builder, I hated going to a lot of meetings and justifying what I'm doing and what I'm not. So I loved building when I was a builder. But as soon as I became a manager, I realized that I have no visibility to where my team is getting stuck, and that led me to going to every meeting and pulling people into different meetings to understand what's happening so that I can enable them. Whereas I could not focus so much on strategic or the technical part. So now we at Middleware we are trying to take the builders back to the happy building time and the leaders to leading strategically and technically. So yeah, that's a bit about me, and we can resume to Dora.dev now.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Thanks for that, Drew. So DORA is, as this tagline says right here, DORA is really about helping teams get better at getting better. It's a journey of continuous improvement. Now, many people know DORA very well for the 4 key metrics of software delivery performance. And in fact, if I hop over here to the research tab, you'll see those software delivery performance metrics listed out there. You can learn more about them in this guide here about the software delivery metrics. But you can also sort of quickly assess your team. How are you doing with those software delivery metrics using DORA's Quick Check? I'll just walk through this very, very quickly here. So, and as a way to help recap some of those metrics if you're unfamiliar with them. So when we think about these metrics, we're always thinking about an application or service, the primary one that you work on. And we ask questions, first 2 questions about throughput. How is change moving through that system? And we ask about the lead time for changes. So from the time code is committed until that code lands in production. And then the deployment frequency. How frequently are you pushing changes out to production? Next up, we have 2 metrics on stability. So we had throughput. We also want to make sure that we're making stable changes to our environment. So the first one is the change fail percentage, or what I like to call the expletive rate, because this is what happens when you push a change to production and you or someone around you shouts out an expletive. Maybe we shouldn't have pushed that, or maybe we need to pull it back or push forward a hot fix, right? So how frequently, like what percentage does that happen? And then we recognize that it's going to happen, right? It's not if there is a failure, it's when, because no system is 100% perfect. We should not expect them to be. So when those failures do happen, how long does it take to recover and get your system back to working? Now, taken together, these 4 metrics can be used to measure any type of software or technology that you're delivering, whether it's a mobile application, a new LLM, a mainframe application, who knows, anything really. And by using these 4 measures, you really get a good sense of the outcome of that software delivery process and sort of how that engineering works. And you can then compare yourself and sort of set a baseline number relative to other people that have participated in this research study. And we'll come back to a couple of things around how do you improve those numbers over time here in just a bit. But the Quick Check is just one way in which you can gather those numbers. But as you see, this was a form that I filled out, and it definitely reflects my lived experience. Well, I mean, I just made up the answers just now, but when you fill it out, you can have it reflect your lived experience. And I think a really great way to do that is to bring your team together and kind of talk through that to make sure that you agree. But oftentimes we hear, well, yes, but that was a questionnaire. We have data in our systems. So can't we just pull the data from our systems and put together a dashboard? And in fact, over here on Dora.dev, I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom and click on this resources link. There are a number of source available tools, open source and otherwise, that allow you to do just that.